Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Extreme Z battle for Majin Buu or Buu Super. That is the shocking absorption ability Buu Super, and we're going to see just how hard his Extreme Z battle is, whilst also discussing some of his Extreme Z awakenings, because he's got 3 transformations, so it's quite a few. In terms of the effective unit here, you are looking at Super AGL types and Potara units. This is actually quite a limited category, but he's also weak against all typings except for physical. So you just need to make sure that you have tech, AGL, int, strength, and focus on super units, as those will be the most effective. As always, Extreme Z battles are 30 stages if they are not legendary Extreme Z battles. And obviously at the end of it you will have the medals to Extreme Z awaken him, whilst also gaining some Kais. And his Extreme Z awakening is pretty good. He becomes 170% lead for transformation boost, which is pretty nice. He gets a huge buff. Like, he becomes way better than what he was. Like, when he came out he was underwhelming, and now he becomes like super good. Like, in his base form he's really strong, very solid as a unit. When he's Piccolo, which happens when he's 49% or below, he becomes an absolute powerhouse defensive unit with great support capabilities. Then you get the Gotenks version, which is just a very solid attack, dealing second slot, debuffing, sealing type of unit, which is fantastic. And then obviously you get Ultimate Gohan version, which is again also just a great unit. Health, that recovers health, gives himself huge buffs, builds up his attack and defense over 3 turns, and he has a high chance of guarding all attacks, which is fantastic, and a great chance of guarding all attacks. So there's just really good, changes to all of his transformations that make them way more usable across the board. We're talking like flat out just more usable. Obviously there are missions, most of them being speed challenge related, which is very important. In terms of the Potara team, it's a little bit more difficult, because with the Potara team, like I said, there's not a lot of free-to-play options. There's just not a lot of options in general that are AGL. However, there are some really strong options. You've got like really good free-to-play options, but yeah, as long as it works, it works, and as long as the team works, it's fine. But yeah, at the end of the day, everything worked fine, and this team ran very well, I would say. It was honestly more than fine, obviously relying a little bit on the EZA LR Vegito Blue and his overall performance, but in general, the team was quite smooth and quite effective. So I would suggest, or highly suggest, that you guys look at running a modification of this team. Obviously, if you have any of the Potara leads, they're going to be great. We're talking Tech, Vegeta Blue, we're talking the Int, Goku and Vegeta Potara units. So there's plenty of options for you guys to utilize. It's just going to depend, a little bit on your, box and situation and everything. Obviously, there's the AGL Super Vegito that you can use. If you do have him, he's a great option. However, I don't have him still, somehow. Don't have him, not too certain how that's still the case, even so late on in things, but it is what it is. But yeah, obviously, and that should be it. I will make changes to the team if necessary, but I usually cover stage 1 and now stage 30 if there are no changes, and there are no changes to this team. So this team is fine to go the whole way, but as always, I highly suggest you guys utilize, stronger units if possible. So if you've got the EZA 3rd year LRs, use them. If you've got the Tech Vegito, use them. If you've got really good options, if you've got Super Vegito, if you've got, all of these strong units, use them, because it is way better. And it's going to make your life and your team run smoother and make everything run faster. And yeah, just basically makes everything a lot easier to do in general. But yeah, so this team doesn't change too much. We'll come back, take a look at stage 30, and then obviously awaken him, and then move on. In terms of stage 30, like I said, you mainly just want to have super AGL, super int, super tech, and super, like strength type units. You don't really want any extreme units because they're not as effective. But this team doesn't have to change as much. You can just leave this team as is. It's a fairly simple situation. You'll see I'm actually using a second copy of LR Vegito. I've done that to help out with some free-to-play challenges. You don't have to do this. This is actually harder to do than having a normal summonable unit in his place. Now, the EZA for Buu is very good. I want to say it's probably one of the more impactful EZAs I've seen in Dokkan. Not only does it elevate Buu to being a very good unit, but it also actually really elevates the categories that he exists on. So Martian Buu, Saga, Martian Power, Power Absorption, all of these teams gain huge by having Buu. All of them benefit so much because of how adaptable he is. If you're low on health, he becomes a great defensive unit. If you're midway, he becomes a solid damage dealer. If you're at your top bracket of health, he becomes a very strong leading the line unit. So these situations for Buu make him very good. So from my perspective, I think this is one of the more impactful EZAs because they've made pretty much every phase of his transformation super duper relevant. And he helps out so many teams. Like Martian Power becomes all of a sudden very viable alongside him. Physical Buu gets a huge buff from having this guy get boosted. AGL Buu also gets boosted by this guy. You've got the Strength Kid Buu also gets boosted by this guy. So all of a sudden, the Buu team has some really strong units. And, now you're looking at like running this Strength Buu and things are a lot more synergistic as well because of his support capabilities. But that's going to be it from me. Obviously we'll review him and take a look at him. I believe my Buu has a dupe in him, or 2 dupes, not too certain yet, but I'll double check when I'm doing the review. But yeah, we'll definitely take a look at him, see just how good he gets, and obviously just try him out and see whether it's worth it. I think between the 2 EZAs he's definitely the better one, but yeah, that's basically it. So that's gonna cover it for me. See you guys next time. Bye.